Welcome back. Hope you guys doing good. This is me just thinking out loud, and I'm trying to I'm just thinking of things, and I think I might be on a little something that I can't figure out, right? But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to figure everything out. I'm here to ask questions that nobody else is asking. So someone else can go do all the work because they're smarter than me. You know, we all play a part in this thing called life. Now, question number one: what did the Earth look like before the Lord flooded it? Because if you actually read the Bible, right? If you actually listen and pay attention to what other ancient people say, because we're not leaving anybody out. When you hear GMB fucking talk, it's called God's Man Bible. That means the story is in us, because everybody writes down their history and what goes on. History is nothing but my people seen this, we seen that, and those things are similar. So, it must come from a similar thing. Now, what did the earth look like before the world got flooded? Because the Bible says that the Lord released waters from the heaven, right? And the deep ocean, that we have now, that it wasn't that deep before. How fucking low was it? Because I just found out in the book of Enoch, my daddy has a special fucking dungeon down there. On the bottom, there's a box down there with a door in it. And no one can open the door because there's no handle on the outside. You know? And tough guys are down there. Really, really tough guys. Now, we're not here to talk about them. We're doing another special couple episodes on them. But, you ever think of that? Have you ever thought of where we're at right now, according to logical thinking on a fucking 5-year-old level? Let's skip the genius and the fucking mathematical, you need to know science and the go in the fucking bathtub, get a bunch of fucking dirt and rocks, and start filling that motherfucker up. Right? In the shower, the waters from the heavens is gonna drop down, and you could pretend the fucking, the whatever the fuck they call it. You get it? And then when it starts filling up, don't let it fill all the way up, you know? Because that's not what the Lord did. He let it go high enough where civilization can still continue. But everything that couldn't climb those motherfucking mountains, you were done for. You know? You were done. Like, 'cause that's the way I think about it. When I hear the valleys and Noah had to fucking sail and he's looking for land and he's letting out doves and he can't see land for days and days and days and days. See, we understand that now because we're in the end result of the cause. But what did it look like before the action happened? How low was the water? You know? Because, like, even in the movie, I think they said it. Could be a little extra filler. But I could have swore, even in the Bible, it said at one time it never rained on the earth. You know? Never really rained like that. So it probably like rained once in a while, you know. And then it didn't rain bad. It used to be an omen to older people that storms meant the gods were angry. You know? I've been thinking about that for a while. What would the earth look like if man didn't fuck up? You know? And the angels, we can't leave them out. We're not taking all the blame for this. The women don't get all the blame for the apple, just like men or the angels don't get all the blame. We're throwing in the women for the fall. We all fell together. Now, what did it look like though? You know? Because then I think about the really big tree that goes really high up that is in the Bible, you know? That the Lord said, my angel buddies, go get rid of that. Take that down. They don't deserve that no more. You know, like that movie Avatar? That's in the Bible. That big tree thing? That was in the Bible. And the Lord sent his angels down and said, humans don't deserve it anymore. They fucked up. Take my blessings away. I wonder what that big tree was for. You know? I wonder how much fruit it bared. I wonder why they said people lived longer back in the day. Oh yeah, maybe because of the tree. I wonder who sued people up to you know. I wonder what they did. You know, like the Adam and Eve story. It starts with a tree. Human and like I ain't gonna say history, myths, multiple myth stories, Jack and the Beanstalk, and fucking. There's not a culture around the world that doesn't say there was big trees. You know. Now we got movies about them. So, what did the world look like? Sound the horns, my daddy in the building. I wonder, you know? Because if the world flooded right now, but not on some biblical, you know? People will be running to the highest mountains, you know? And a lot of changes, a lot of shorelines would disappear. And then, like 1,000, 2,000 years from then, people will be talking about it was always like this, you know? Not realizing there's a city right there next to you, and all that water in front of you. There's cities down there, you know. Just like kind of now, like they're finding like cities or off the shores of the continents and stuff. And then we can't go all the way down yet. Man's capable. Sound horns. My daddy said yes. They really are. And I wonder what it looks like. I wonder what level, what the original, before we start, doing things and making him do things. Greatest punishment a father can ever do is, what do you do when your fucking son acts up? You take his fucking toys away. You take the TV, you know? You take their privileges, their power, their powers. You make it a little rough for them. So they start realizing how good they really, really had it. And then they miss it a really lot. You know? And if you ever get it back, you appreciate it a lot more. Things usually last when you appreciate it. Now, let's get off that. Another question. How come nobody talks about Japhet in the Bible? I hear all these people talking about the Bible, but won't bring that man up. I'm gonna end it right there. Um, then how come nobody talks about Ruth's son? You know, with Abraham and how like he got born first, but he doesn't get the blessing. But he's a part of the blessing because he comes out the loins of Abraham. And the Lord said, I'm gonna make a lot of great people come out of that guy. A lot of great nations. They're gonna, kind of probably more than likely work for him. You know? And then, because I was listening to something, I'm not even going to mention names, but they were saying about how in the Bible, Ruth prayed to her God or whatever. And something about that. He was trying to prove that she was from Egypt and stuff, you know, which would make, people supposed to be cool with people. But within that same book, later on, people ain't cool with each other. You know what I mean? But people keep acting, people keep talking like people are cool with each other. But my father said, actions speak louder than words. Now, what other good questions do I have? Oh, I finally figured out how to sun flies. That's for the viewers that are be watching the Noah Wolf channel. And I was rapping, and I always keep playing that freestyle. Still trying to figure out how the sun flies. All right, I figured it out. It took 44 years. But seriously, I didn't really figure it out. Like, just had to read Enoch again or listen to it. I won't lie. And it says there's an angel that moves the sun. And I said, yeah, that would make sense. Because it's a big fucking fireball, supposedly. Or a big beam of light. Regardless of what it is, it's very hot. I don't care what anybody says. I don't even care what it does. And I know it makes me feel like it's cooking the shit out of me. So getting closer and closer would mean I'm gonna cook. Like Icarus. You get too close to the sun. So I don't care what it is. Just like I don't care what people are. I only care what they do because it proves who you are. What are the things that my daddy put under the ocean? Everybody's talking Leviathan and oh my God. That's controlled by the Lord. He made Leviathan. If that thing is real, the Lord controls it. And why would you make Godzilla for? I don't know. He says it's basically indestructible. And if you touch it, you'll regret ever going to touch it ever again. It'll teach you the hard way. So, I don't know why he has a pet fucking dragon zord in the water. But, I'm glad I'm on his team. You know? Because I'm the Green Ranger. Um, but after seeing, Enoch and them talking about these angel spirits that were supposedly, I guess, be the stars or some shit like that. They have some position. They have an important. You gotta like what I've learned from mortals is the worse crime the more of the bad crime you do, the worse sentence you get. What gets somebody life in solitary confinement till the end of forever, which that means you're never coming out. You don't go to the pit because the Lord made you to be infinite. You can't die. And since nothing can kill you too, like Leviathan, he said, before I create you, I'm going to make a fucking pit for you, a personal little box for you. That although you can't die, you're going to hate your existence because you're not going to do anything. You know? See, my father is very smart. Like, talk about like Batman having a contingency plan for all his superpower friends. He's just a man, but he took them all down, didn't he? He makes them all look like they're mortals. It's because they're idiots. The more power you have, the stupider you become. Because you think you don't have a weakness. The Lord is the weakness. And he's the man. You know? So, that's another reason why I like Batman. You know? Because it's sort of like he follows the laws of God. He stands for truth, justice, in the Most High's way. And he won't kill people. He'll break your fucking bones, though. He'll teach you. He'll teach you. You know, like Michael. You know, I don't think he created Michael to be just a cornball. I think he's a general, not just a soldier. You don't call your weakest to deal with a traitor like that. You know, call big dog. You know. Anyway, when people speak of Egypt, I once heard, and I can be completely wrong because, a lot of bullshit on the internet, you know. But there's a difference between the internet and then seeing shit in real life. You know, anybody could tell you anything, and then you're supposed to see it because it's the truth. Now, long ago, when I was studying Egypt shit, because even in the Bible it says he dealt with them because he created them from Ham, you know, and since he was the older brother and Shem wasn't, I think somebody was helping Noah build things, so I would think the older brother would become a really good builder and he would build things. And the Lord doesn't just have people pick things up and put them down, even though building doesn't just consist of that, I mean, it takes a lot of brain power. But it's basically like physical. Some people build the world, and some people build the minds of the people that are going to run the world. You get it? You're building physical temples. I'm building organic temples. Your temples will age and crumble. You get it? The temples I build don't die. If they're smart enough to have children and pass the wisdom. Oh yeah, I think that's what the Lord, the whole purpose of I think that's like the purpose of you know, if you know, you know. Um, it's getting real strange out here. Like for me, watching people that are, I only call you two things. You're either a charlatan and you're a paid jabroni liar, or you just don't know what you're talking about because you're a man. We only learn so much. We have our biases, even myself. And you will make human error. There's nothing wrong with that. But either one of those things mean you're not capable of teaching me. You're not capable of stepping outside the boundary that will further you to see the truth. You're useless to me because, my Lord made anything to learn, especially the truth. A fucking idiot can learn the truth. Unless he's being taught by a liar. Then you just go in circles. And you just gotta make up a new something. We're not our grandfathers. We're not our great grandfathers. We're not anything like them. Even though we are. What I mean by it is, I think you've run this shenanigan thing for so long that it's like getting encoded into our DNA to just see you're a liar within seconds. You know? It's like what I was watching this guy's video talking about the African shit. And he's sitting there trying to convince people, of course, Negroes, um, you're Africans. You're the Egyptians. Even the Bible says, came out of Egypt and I sent my son out of Egypt and see it even said that your God came out of Egypt. And I'm looking at this nigga like, my G. That's why you gotta read the whole page and all these other things. But the old tricks are so good still. But it don't work on people that are even, I like you see the quality of idiots you get now. You get morons, people that ain't even you don't even want them anyway. Cause what are you gonna do with them? You send them on missions and they're buffoons and they don't even know what to do. They fucking shit up. How you think I got so smart? And I blame yous. How do you dumb niggas down, then want to use the same dumb niggas to lie to niggas, but they're dumb? Like, could you imagine that? I'm gonna dumb these niggas down with you, and then I'm gonna tell them certain truths, but they're dumb. You beat their brain. You beat their head already, so, you know? They're not good at lying. They're not good at cosplaying as us anymore. We're starting to be like, I'm starting to be able to just see them. It's getting crazy. And then every backstory is the same. They're from somewhere else. They just kind of look like us, and their people got defeated by fucking Britain in fucking 1850 or some dumb shit. They got defeated by the United States and blah 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 blah. And then now they're fucking 2 generations later, their kids are in America, fucking cosplaying as Negroids, fucking leading us into fucking damnation. It's a joke. It's a joke. These niggas don't even look like us now. It's starting to get a joke, you know? And further as we just exist. I'm a nigga that had a phone, broken phones and broken TVs and broken shit, and you fucks in your witchcraft probably. I've never not had things that were broken. I've never not got fragments. And look how far I've come. I see other niggas that are literally, they fucking went to school, they're smarter than me. I'll salute them and say it. But how come I always push the button? How come I talk about something that either niggas just stop talking about, I guess, or maybe forget, or just ain't talking about, you know? It's a joke. Because, in the end, when whatever truth that is the truth comes out, you know, I know one thing. Everyone keeps convincing us to join their clubs and you're these people, you're this, you're that, you're this, and you're that, right? And you know what you always make sure to do? Say you're still on the fucking bottom. You're nobody. That's how I know the truth means the opposite of that. Because no matter who tells us we're what, we're fucking nobodies in it. We're never the shit. We're the ones that took all the blunt force of the fucking reality to say you're the one. But you ain't shit though. You can come back home over here, but yeah, you just get, you're regular. You get fucking 40 acres and a mule. Some dumb shit. It's a joke. The stories and the lies is it's like I said, in the end, the ones that are kind, you think shit is gonna, like, the ones that are kind, the ones that are actually the worst, I truly believe the worst of you that haven't passed that mark of, I believe there's a mark of, like, forgiveness, like that, where you cross it and you can't be, you know what I mean? But I truly believe people could, do things and be forgiven. And like I always say, since my father, that's his ultimate power. And he's repeatedly used that power in the Bible and literally, like, forgave entire nations. And said, fuck those guys up now and get my people free. You know? That's why I keep telling, like, these low-level Super Saiyan niggas around here. I keep saying to them, you're worrying about me. It's fucking Division 2 out here, baby. There's rogue agents everywhere, and they look just like you. They work for you. They eat breakfast with you. They married you. They had kids with you. You're worrying about me. You're worrying about me. You're worrying about little old us. That Bible says we have a lot of lessons to learn. You know? Being the tail teaches you a lot about being a head, but being a tail, you know, it can make you bitter, angry. And those things lead to the dark side. And my Father will never allow us to ever even have peace without stopping that shit. You know? It's not about money. It's not about land. You people still think that's what he created this shit for. It helps. It's about living. You know? It's about the future. You can go check your Bibles. The greatest gift my father ever gave us was the what did I call it? Jay-Z stole it. The gift, the blessing, and the curse. See, a lot of people hear that, and it gets put onto a lot of different things because it's a good representation. It's, it can mean a lot of different things. It could stand for a lot of different things. But when it comes to that Bible, it could mean a lot of different things. It could be right. But the one I'm focused on is you're gonna be like the sands of the sea. Look up in the star, look up in the sky, Abraham. Now count every star. And he said, I'm not gonna try, I can't. And he said, good. That's your bloodline. That's how many kids you're gonna have. Can you count all the grains of the sands on the beach? That's how many kids you're gonna have. You're always gonna be here. That's a fucking blessing. Until you realize that means you get to watch the entire humanity. And if you're not the head, you're the tail. And you get to be there. And it's not fun. You know? But the lesson of being a tail is warn everybody else. Because it's a clock. And everybody has their time. And you don't want to be the tail. I'd rather be the middle, the nipples, the backbone, and get stuck being the backbone. Like middle class. And then the world starts over and your generations get to be middle class again. It doesn't matter if you go up or down, if you're in the middle. See, the only ones really giving a fuck about the games, the ones that are the head and the tail. Because they're playing for all the marbles. The fun thing about the tail, you just wag. You entertain and shit. You just do things. You just go with the flow of the force. The head, controls the body. You're in charge of everything. So, you take the blame. All love, all praise, and hopefully a lot of mercy for the ones that want it. Because although the sins of the father fall upon the son, the sons and the daughters can do things to make the curses not happen to them. And, oh yeah, you gotta live through it to tell that story. That's why I made GMB TV.